Upgraded Google safety tools can now find and remove more of your personal info. The Results About You tool is getting an upgrade. This is actually a tool that we suggest to use at Privacy Guides because it does enable you to enter your personal information and have Google periodically check Google search results for information that appears about you. This is kind of useful because if there's things like your address, your phone number, your email address showing up in Google searches, that could be a safety issue. If you don't have any other option, if you don't want to do it manually all the time, it is something that we do recommend. So Google's had that feature for a while, but now it's actually getting an extra layer of abilities. So with today's upgrade, Results About You gains the ability to find and remove pages that include ID numbers, like your passport, driver's license, and social security. And you can access the option to add these to Google's ongoing scans from the settings in Results About You. Just click the ID numbers section to enable detection. Naturally, Google has to know what it's looking for to remove it, so you need to provide at least part of those numbers. Google asks for the full driver's license number, which is fine as it's not as sensitive. And for your passport and SSN, you only need the last 4 digits, which is good enough for Google to find the full numbers on web pages. This is good to see that there's more safety tools being built into Google search because a lot of times things can get indexed that we don't want to. It's good to have control over having those listings removed because, like I said before, it can be a safety issue for some people. But I do think in this case, you are trusting Google with that information. I think Google is not exactly the most trustworthy company, and it will definitely depend on the level of safety that you care about, right? If you're being targeted constantly and this is like quite a big threat to you, then maybe you would be more likely to enroll in this program. If you're just an everyday person, I think just periodically searching your name, your address, your phone number, that sort of thing is probably enough for most people. Having a look at the rest of this here, it looks like there's a tool that identifies explicit images as well as deep fakes. So that is also another thing that a lot of people deal with. I think in general, this is a good thing, even if it's coming from like the worst company ever.
404 Media has covered several stories about just normal women who have been targeted by deepfakes, and they've covered, I've lost track of how many, and I say just normal women in the sense of like they're not famous, they're not sex workers, they just have the quote unquote crime of being attractive. And they've been covering stories about tons of, they call them nudify apps, where you can feed it a picture and the AI will generate what she might look like naked. I think you still do make a really good point of that's trusting Google with a lot of data. And I do want to point out that Google has really good security. Google has never, to my knowledge, had a major data breach, but you're still trusting them not to use that data for advertising, for tracking, for all the other things that Google's multi-billion-dollar empire is built on. It's definitely one of those cost-benefit analysis things where you have to ask yourself, do I think this is enough of a problem that I should go ahead and sign up for this? Or like you said, would it be better if I handled this myself, if I did an occasional search, set myself reminders in my calendar or whatever? So